Good morning, Stampers. Thanks for joining me this morning. This is Linda Goldhurst from Snowberry Stampers, and today I'm going to share with you this month's product spotlight, which is Paradise Palms. Absolutely beautiful stamp set, and the dies are pretty amazing as well. So I've got 4 cards for you. I am going to break it into 4 different videos, just in case they run a little long. That'll be easier for both you and me. Okay, so card number 1 is this beautiful scene, and I'm going to show you how I created this. So you've got a piece in your kit, you've got a piece of Whisper White. In fact, you've got 2 pieces of Whisper White. The larger one goes on the inside, and the smaller one is for the outside. All right. Now, Stampin'Up is coming out in the new catalog with masking paper. So this is not Stampin'Up masking paper. This is another company. But I will be switching to Stampin'Up when I'm out of this one. So what we're going to do first is create a horizon. All right, so this piece of paper is a little bit bigger, but that's okay for sake of showing you. All right, so the colors that we're using on this card are Soft Suede, Crumb Cake, Pacific Point, and Pool Party. All right, so I'm going to start with the sky, which is Pool Party. And I think the best way to do this is to either use a blending brush or, sorry for the shadow. Let's see if this is better. Okay, that's a little better. Okay, so the best way is to either use a blending brush or to use a sponge. All right, and so we're going to pick up a little bit of color here and get off the mane. And for the sky, I just want gentle blue. Okay, and then we're going to flip over and do the ocean. All right, so we're going to pull that off, and you can see that little bit of blue. Then we're going to put the masking paper on the other side, and we're going to use Pacific Point. And I use one brush for all my blues. So I'm just, since I'm going to a darker color, it's okay, but I'm just going to clean it off a little bit. Also, microfiber cloth is really good for cleaning these off as well. All right, I'm going to pick up a little bit of color here. You can see how dark it is. All right, and on the sample, you can see I've got it darker here, and I'm fading it off to the sides. So I'm going to start in the middle, and I'm just going in circular motions, and I'm kind of letting it fade off to the side. And I'm not doing down here because that's where my sand is going to be. All right, and I'm going to leave now the sides alone, and now I'm just going to go in the center. Make it a little bit darker. And it's as much as you want to do, as dark as you want to get it. Okay, that looks good. You peel this off and reveal. There we go. All right. This paper can be used over and over and over again, so don't get rid of it once you've used it. All right. Now we're going to switch to Crumb Cake. And I've got a brown blending brush. Okay, I'm gonna tap that off as well. And I'm just going to do, again, I'm doing the center and I'm letting it fade off to the sides. And I'm trying not to cross too much of the blue, but you want to go up to the blue. And then just a little off the sides. And I think I want a little darker in the middle here. Okay. All right, there's my water scene. All right, now I'm going to do my trees. The trees can be done one of two ways. Because the trunks are separate from the tops, you can either use a stamp pad or you can use a marker. So in this case, I'm going to use on this one, because it's separate, I'm going to use my stamp pads. But when I go to do the inside and I do this grouping, which is one stamp, I'll use a marker instead, and I'll show you that. All right, so we're going to use soft suede for the trunks. And the trunks, if you look, are fairly long, and I don't want that total length. All right, so again, I'm going to use my masking tape paper, and I'm just going to put it across the bottom, and I'm going to go ahead and let my tree trunk go on that masking paper. All right, and I'll show you the effect in just a second. All right, we'll use the second trunk, which is the straight one, and I'm just going to make him a little higher. And didn't do so hot on that one. Okay, lucked out there. All right, you could always go back and fill it in with a Stampin' Up marker if you did what I just did and didn't want to take a chance. All right, so I'm going to remove this paper, and I'm going to finish off the trunks a little bit here. And I might just give it a little bit of a shadow down here. Let's pick up a little bit of the going to pick up a little bit of soft suede ink and make it just a little bit darker here under the trees. And you could also do just a little bit. I'm just very gently brushing here. Okay. All right. Now let's do the tops of the trees. And I forgot to mention that I'm using old olive for the tops of the trees. All right. There are two different size tops, so it doesn't matter which is which. And you want to see the trunk is supposed to end up towards the inside here, okay? So you want to kind of look at how you've mounted your stamp and try and get it close. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. And this one. And there we go. Now we've got our trees. All right, so then you're going to, I've got some sea glass down here that's sitting at the bottom of the trees. You've got a piece of linen thread to wrap around. This is mounted on the old olive cardstock, and then it is popped up with dimensionals on the Pacific point. All right, so let me show you how I did these trees, which is the grouping. And I'm going to get another piece of Whisper White. Basic white, sorry, not Whisper White. And these are the trees. All right, and what you do, I've got a soft suede marker and an olive green. Obviously, you can use any browns and any greens. And you're going to use the felt tip side and just brush on the ink using the side of the marker. You don't want to go down like this. You'll ruin the tip of your marker. So just on the side, brush it on. Okay, and then we're going to use the old olive, same way on the tops. Now you don't want to use your blends for this. Blends will not work. First they dry way too fast, and then they will stain your stamps. Okay, so we've got that on there. And now since it's been exposed to air for a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and huff on this. And that just moistens it. And then I can go ahead and stamp it. And there you go. There you've got your inside trees. I did the same thing then for the envelope as well. And I did stamp wishing you a warm and beachy kind of day in soft suede, and then the happy birthday in soft suede as well. Okay, so that's it for card number 1. Stay tuned for 2, 3, and 4.